don't make no sense, boy. It's the Money Buddha Show. It's my motherfucking show. Motherfucking Money Buddha Show. Yeah, bitch, this shit. That's early morning, man. I'm already hyped, man. Goddamn motherfuckers playing around, man. I never would allow this shit underneath my jurisdiction. Y'all need to understand that shit. I never allow this underneath my jurisdiction. You crazy. Absolutely crazy. You absolutely crazy. If you think that you can do some shit like this, you're absolutely crazy, man. Shouts out to motherfucking the mic system, man. My mic sounds nice, 1, 2. But fuck it, I'll pick up the whole room. I want the thing, get the head out of the way. I don't want that in the way of the head. Get my thing, click my thing here. Oh shit. Uh-uh. Yeah, man. I'm tired of this shit. This motherfucking Money Buddha, man. The goddamn hottest. I'm the goddamn hottest, man. I'm up there with the elites, man. Y'all need to get y'all life right, man. Y'all better move right, man. Like and subscribe. Press that like button. Cleanse your soul, man. Get your mind right. Ease your mind, bitch. It's Money Buddha, bitch. It's Money Buddha, bitch. It's motherfucking Money Buddha, bitch. Ease your mind a little bit. Bootsy badass. It's Money Buddha badass. Let me stop. Ease your mind a little bit. Alright, my bad. I'm fucking tripping. We up here, man. Plan is going to shit. But we're rocking and rolling. What we doing today, boys? Look at it. They done got rid of Kramer. I don't see Kramer. Kramer's sick. Kramer done took ill. Okay, then got my boy Cramey. And he done ran his mouth. They done got rid of Cramey. Cramey ain't been on it 4, 5 days. God dog, what you do, Cramey? Cramey getting too old for this shit. Cramey, bring back Cramey. We want Kramer. That's how it go. When you there, we don't want you. When I'm gone, you want me. That's how it go, eh? And that's how it go. Bad dude. Oh yeah, man. Chat looking good. Everything looking good. Money Buddha Show is live. We're live. All we need is this shit to go all the way up, baby. Come on, man. 48 cents. Let's go. Look at the rejection. Look, rejected it again. Come on. They don't want it to go past. They got that thing. Market maker scared to lose his shirt. I can lose my shirt all day. But the market maker is scared to lose his shirt but once. That's how fragile these weak, puny people's control over you all are. But if they slip up but the slightest, you all the way free. These shackles ain't that goddamn tight. Nigga slip right out. You already starving. They was tight at first. That was when you was hungry. You was big belly. Now you been starving in the dungeon. Them shackles loose as a motherfucker. You can damn near slide out them motherfuckers right now. They don't understand that part. Dummies. Now that you just starved us for fucking ever, nigga, what are you talking about? It's been internal stagnation way before fucking COVID. They been destroyed this fucking planet. The trees were been fucking dying. Are you fucking crazy? Money Buddha. Mm-hmm. 49, pull back. They trying it. It's a 10. I'm like my market maker now. Now I see what I mean. What he's saying. What is that horizontal? What's that box? It's the rectangle. It's really from there. keep talking about inflation. There's no such thing as inflation. What the fuck does that even mean, bro? That's not a real word, bro. They're not. The fuck. They talking about the price of things going up. The price is going up because motherfucking the things have more value. The price of today cannot be the price of tomorrow. Nigga, this is fucking capitalism. There's no such thing as fucking inflation. If anything, they've been deflating the market, and the market is just trying to return back to its natural flow. The planet is a robust planet. The planet is supposed to be teeming with life. These little freaks have chopped down all the trees, destroyed the planet, tried to suck up everything. The planet is trying to re-explode. And here they trying to stop the explosion and try to say, oh, it's inflation. No, it's just them dying. It's these losers trying to control the planet, destroyed. You all are losers. You just don't get it. You're relics. Your relics disappear. Did you make a Jungle account then with your email? Or do they make you pay when you make the account? Yeah. Hold on. Hell yeah, they talking about how Biden then destroyed the goddamn economy. up, baby? I didn't even see you, Ronan. What's up? Are you there? Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching the news. This is what I do in the morning, John. I motherfucker. I work on Wall Street, John.
Yeah.
Properties. Yeah, all right, there we go. Yeah, man, I'm on this shit, baby. I be trying to teach people how to get their, you know what I mean? Get your money pieces up. Get your pieces up. But now, yeah, I can see you down in the chat. Oh, matter of fact, I gotta bring in. There we go. Oh, okay. You say you on Modern Warfare too. I see. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, we gotta make. You gotta make some money first, baby, before you play. You gotta play before you play. You gotta pay to play. You gotta pay to play, baby. Yeah, baby, you gotta pay to play. You gotta pay to pay, baby. Yeah, baby, this is what it's all about, baby. Okay, come on, smile. Smile, bitch. Smile, bitch. You got a lot to be smiling for. Okay. Right here. Y'all want to know where it's all about? This is what it's all about right here, baby. Where's my birdie? Since you really fucking with me, you been fucking with me, I'ma save you, man. I'ma save you. Go get you an account. You watching this shit still? Buy this shit right here. Go get you an account and buy this shit right here. As you can see, it's going up because I'm not lying to you because I'm your friend. I'm your bestie. As your bestie, I'm telling you what to buy. As you can see, up and away. We finna be rich. We are rich, but we about to get more money. More money. You gonna be rich though. You just got blessed. I just blessed you. You're welcome. Love you. Love you. This company right here. As you can see, something major. As you can see, triple major go. In the words of Flossie, my nigga Flossie from fucking New York, triple major go. Quadra major go. Money Buddha. This is an exclusive Quadra Major Go. Quadra Major Go. First ever Quadra Major Go. Nigga, I just went Quadra. Quadra Major Go, man. This is a Quadra Major Go. Hold on, I got that white background. I can't see what you said. I'm just going to wait. Okay. Yeah, learn a little bit about this shit right quick. Get your money up. Get your money up. Do you know about this right here? Is this new to you? You know what I mean? What your pockets looking like? Well, don't type it in chat, but you know what I mean? You know how your pockets look. This right here, we talking about your pockets. Right? I mean your pockets right now. Instead of going in your pockets, I'm putting shit in your pocket. Most motherfuckers want to take shit out your pocket. I'm just trying to put something in a nigga pocket. They talking about Virgin on the TV right now. Oh, they talking about Ocean Gate. See what I mean? Because they probably was about to get on the stock market. These people in that damn submarine they killed, they probably was motherfucking about to go viral. They already have been down there. I was watching some of their content of the wreckage. They seemed quite knowledgeable. Quite, you know what I mean? They didn't have a lot of views. They only had like a couple million views. But the kind of content that they had was National Geographic level. You know what I mean? Because they suppress all the views from everybody. That's why I be like, everybody got to do their part and press that like button and get that shit out your heart. You got that. Even if you think what my one little like gonna do, it's gonna do a lot. Cause the algorithm, the way this shit got it set up, it'll bury real good content that the world needs to see because people are being haters. You know what I mean? And that's why they do that shit. It's just like if you ever driving a car. There's no such thing as traffic. The only traffic is people in shitty cars and people trying to be in other people's way because they mad about their life and they shouldn't be on the road. They should be pulling over and going to, you know what I mean, talk to somebody or kill themselves. One of the two. They need to talk to somebody or kill themselves. Yeah, see, Virgin going viral. I can't hear though. Oh, I'm about to say, why can't we hear?
Tomorrow, 2 Italian Air Force officers and an aerospace engineer from the National Research Council of Italy will board the ship and head to the edge of space. Now, this comes 2 years after billionaire founder Richard Branson and his crew took the company's first test flight, showing off the company's progress.
Airbus, Boeing and other big names have gathered for the Paris Air Show. French President Emmanuel Macron was there to open the industry's biggest event of the year. It all comes amid optimism over a rebound in business. And it began with a record order, India's Indigo announcing it will take 500 new Airbus planes. Local rival Air India may also confirm a mammoth order. In all, some forecasts predict deals for around 2,000 new jets during the week. Analysts say many airlines are catching up after putting all planning on hold during the global health crisis.
You still on here? This what we talking about, Roni?
on hold during the global health crisis. Arguments over climate change could prove a mixed blessing. Concern over emissions pushes airlines to order change could prove a
little parlay. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers out there doing it, boy. Doing it. Everybody out here fucked up right now, but these motherfuckers ain't fucked up. Them niggas out there doing it. That's why we do this.
A mixed blessing. Concern over emissions pushes airlines to order newer, more fuel-efficient jets. But longer term, environment activists argue that the only way to really tackle emissions will be to drastically reduce flying. The conflict in Ukraine has increased the focus on the defence side of the show too. Sash Tusa is an aerospace analyst at
See, that's the real Call of Duty. That's the real Call of Duty right there. Eagle 1, Fox. That's that Fox 2, Fox 3, Fox 4. They got Fox 4. Nigga got Fox 4 on that big boy. Eagle 1. Them sidewinders. Them look like sidewinders. Boom, boom, boom.
Agency partners.
Boom.
We should expect to see many hundreds of aircraft ordered this show this week. But what's changed has been the importance of defence. Defence has come back as a consequence of the war in Ukraine, and announcements about defence and companies presenting the equipment that they have for the defence market, they're on the front foot now in a way that they haven't been for 2 decades or more.
Right now, the conflict has boosted aerospace firms as Western governments ramp up spending on new gear. That's putting a focus on drones and other new tech weapons. But some analysts wonder whether budgets will be enough to simultaneously restock munitions and develop expensive new systems such as fighter jets.
Tight, bitch, and I'm finna lay waste to that fucking place. Wasn't be none of this shit, nigga. Fucking over 300 men died, 300,000 men. Good men with good lives and whatever they was gonna do, even if they was bad men. Bad men with bad lives. I don't give a fuck. That's their business. Yeah, that don't mean you get to do whatever you want with them. Fuck out of here, man. Bullshit.
Airbus, Boeing and other big names have gathered for the Paris Air Show.
They showed the air traffic control system. The damn planes, they gotta, like, they not making the planes smaller or nothing. I mean, this shit looked like a shitty PS1 game. That joke, I was like, god damn, they got like 100 million planes in the sky. And goddamn, I mean, that's how that shit look. It look just like that, little planes, but they don't have them even in different sizes. At least in real life. The planes come in different sizes, so you can kind of get a good lay of the land. On the air traffic control board system, they all coming up as like big ass Boeings. They all register as Boeings on it. I'm like, goddamn, you ain't gonna change the transponders or something, nigga? They all come up. That's because they don't really want the people to see the UFOs. They really don't want to have them have a real transponder network that'll allow them to really have proper aviation control, because then we would actually see that there's more than just planes in the sky. There's all kind of shit up there. Yeah, I mean, and it would come up on the damn radar, as it used to all the time. So they had to dummy down the system and try to say those are abnormalis readings, when in reality they're not abnormal. There is an abnormality, but not that kind of abnormality. It's a direct positive. It's not a false negative. It's not a false positive, you know what I mean? That joint is directly a hot signature. Real hot signatures, and they're not fucking Boeings. They're not 747s. Ben was getting that shit, and now because of the modern marvel of, telecommunicational photo lenses and shit, you actually got that shit on camera. Now they got to come out on TV and be like, oh yeah, maybe they're not from earthly origin. Maybe, I don't know. What do I know? It's not like I steal all the money and all the money is funneled through my networks and all the energy is funneled through my networks. And the best I can tell you, what I know about this shit is maybe it's not from earthly origin. Maybe. Go back to work, please. That's all they told you to do. Please go back to work, because I really don't want to tase you in the fucking throat because you're asking me questions that I really don't want to fucking answer. Because it's really about how I control you and how I've continued to control you since I took over and dethroned another group of people and made you all think that those people were subhuman so that you all would think that I'm prime human when I'm really subhuman. Come on now, let's get reality. And that's called inverse, you know what I mean? And that's how they changed their reality and put you in the fucking matrix. Hello, money Buddha.
Oh, French President Emmanuel Macron was there to open the industry's biggest event of the year. It all comes amid optimism over a rebound in business. And it began with a record. It all comes amid optimism over a rebound in business. And it began with a record order. India's Indigo announcing it will take 500 new Airbus planes. Local rival Air India may also confirm a mammoth order. In all, some forecasts predict deals for around 2,000 new jets during the week. Analysts say many airlines are catching up after putting all planning on hold during the global health crisis. Arguments over climate change could prove a mixed blessing. Concern over emissions pushes airlines to order newer, more fuel-efficient jets. But longer term, environment activists argue that the only way to really tackle emissions will be to drastically reduce flying. The conflict in Ukraine has increased the focus on the defence side of the show too. Sash Tusa is an aerospace analyst at Agency Partners.
We should expect to see many hundreds of aircraft ordered this week. But what's changed has been the importance of defence. Defence has come back as a consequence of the war in Ukraine, and announcements about defence and companies presenting the equipment that they have for the defence market, they're on the front foot now in a way that they haven't been for 2 decades or more.
Right now, the conflict has boosted aerospace firms as Western governments ramp up spending on new gear. That's putting a focus on drones and other new tech weapons. But some analysts wonder whether budgets will be enough to simultaneously restock munitions and develop expensive new systems such as fighter jets.
They keep saying Donald Trump is gaining ground. He's not gaining ground. He was always had the same ground. Donald Trump was also at as far as policies, you would say, oh, but he don't like black people. Do any white people like black people? That's what I would say. You know what I mean? That's to say that, you know what I mean? Aren't they all racist? So if they're all racist, then why the fuck do I care about Donald Trump being racist? Next. So that's next. So now we talking about what's next. So what's next? What's his policies looking like? You know what I mean? What he gonna do for my pockets? You see what Joe Biden did for your pockets? Fucking nothing. So maybe Trumpy baby, if Joe Biden races and Trump races and all things being equal, Trump actually puts money in your pocket and Joe Biden takes money out of your pocket. Who the fuck are you picking, bitch, nigga? You better bring Trump, bitch. Are you crazy? I don't give a fuck about that extra shit. That's ridiculous. That's where black people are stupid at. They get black people so worried about who's racist and not racist. Everybody's fucking racist, nigga. The whole planet enslaved us, nigga. Get over that shit. We all know y'all dirty money. We trying to get the money up. You should be worried about what's going to financially increase you. Is it going to do good for my pockets? If it's going to go do for my pockets, then why do you care about all that extra shit, all that external shit? That ain't none of your business who he fucking. Are you fucking him? Do you want to fuck him? Well then, goddamn. Why the fuck are we talking about what the fuck this nigga doing? Yeah. Those are only two reasons why you would care. Either you want to fuck that nigga or you've been fucking that nigga. Other than that, why are we concerned about what another nigga dick doing out here? What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? What we doing right now? What's going on?
Airbus, Boeing and other big names have gathered for the Paris Air Show. French President Emmanuel Macron was there to open the industry's biggest event of the year. It all comes amid optimism over a rebound in business. And it began with a record. Emmanuel Macron was there to open the industry.
See, what they do is they create these wars, and then they got to try to sell all the machinery, but yet they can't just have selling of war machinery because, you know, it would look obvious that these niggas are murderers. So they have to obfuscate the occasion in the fact that they acting like, you know, this is an engineering conference or some shit. When in reality, this is how they doing their military transitions and shit. Told you it's dirty money, dirty money, dirty money.
Industry's biggest event of the year. It all comes amid optimism over a rebound in business. And it began with a record order. India's Indigo announcing it will take 500 new Airbus planes. Local rival Air India may also confirm a mammoth order. In all, some forecasts predict deals for around 2,000 new jets during the week. Analysts say many airlines are catching up after putting all planning on hold during the global health crisis. Arguments over climate change could prove a mixed blessing. Concern over emissions pushes airlines to order newer, more fuel-efficient jets. But longer term, environment activists argue that the only way to really tackle emissions will be to drastically reduce flying. The conflict in Ukraine has increased the focus on the defence side of the show too. Sash Tusa is an aerospace analyst at Agency Partners.
We should expect to see many hundreds of aircraft ordered this week. But what's changed has been the importance of defence. Defence has come back as a consequence of the war in Ukraine, and announcements about defence and companies presenting the equipment that they have for the defence market, they're on the front foot now in a way that they haven't been for 2 decades or more.
Right now, the conflict has boosted aerospace firms as Western governments ramp up spending on new gear. That's putting
see? As governments ramp up spending on new gear.
Aerospace firms and
This is the whole
as Western governments
right
new tech weapons. New gear. Now the conflict here. That's putting a focus on drones and other.
There's damn phones. Everybody on them damn phones. Oh shit, my bad. Let me see what you said. You're watching news. I'm just gonna spam invites. $300. How do the streams like that chat thing? Now they found blood. Is it big chunk? Hold on, I gotta put my phone up so I can see the I gotta put it up on my phone so I can see you talking.
New tech weapons. But some analysts wonder whether budgets will be enough to simultaneously restock munitions and develop expensive new systems such as fighter jets.
What the fuck did that have to do with Virgin Galactic though? Let me stop.
Two Italian Air Force officers and an aerospace engineer from the National Research Council of Italy will board the ship and head to the edge of space. Now, this comes 2 years after billionaire founder Richard Branson and his crew took the company's first test flight, showing off the company's progress.
Here are 3 things that you need to know to kick off your morning. An upbeat forecast boosting shares of memory chip giant Micron. It says sales could be as high as $4.1 billion in the fiscal fourth quarter. According to its CEO, the memory industry has passed its trough in revenue, though the company also warning of continued challenges in China, the world's second biggest economy, which effectively banned Micron in May, accounts for around 10% of its global sales annually. The other potential pain point is the PC market. The company isn't predicting a rapid return to growth this year. And investors are shrugging off the Fed and pushing stocks higher into the quarter end. Despite the central bank remaining in hawkish territory, the Nasdaq 100 headed for its best first half on record. Talk of an imminent earnings recession hasn't dampened appetite for tech just yet. The AI boom still propelling the likes of Nvidia, Microsoft, and Alphabet ever higher. Yesterday, Apple hit another record high and now sits on the cusp, on the precipice of a $3 trillion market valuation. And all clear. The Federal Reserve's annual stress tests of the nation's biggest banks concluded that they're all healthy enough to keep lending, even in the face of a severe economic shock. All 23 lenders tested passed the Fed, and recent events highlighted the need for humility when assessing large bank resilience. Now, the collapse of 3 banks earlier this year, they gave the results an extra significance. The evaluation looks to determine whether they need to hold more capital, and it does so by measuring current buffers against several adverse economic scenarios.
It's almost July 4th, and you know what that means? Fireworks. 60% of consumers planning to watch fireworks this year as part of their 4th of July celebrations. That's up from 46% last year. This is all according to the latest data out from Numerator. So here to discuss what to expect this July 4th holiday and what that means for the firework industry, I want to bring in Phil Grucci. He's CEO and creative director of Fireworks by Grucci. Phil, it's great to see you here. So when we compare where we are today to where we were a year ago, lots of talk just about the shortage of fireworks. People weren't going to be able to get their hands on them. And then if they did, it was going to cost a heck of a lot more. What are you seeing this year?
Well, we're seeing the supply chain is loosened a lot. So that question.
Airbus, Boeing and other big names have gathered for the Paris Air Show. French President Emmanuel
keep rejecting that shit right here. You see how they don't want that shit to go over. Right there, they scared. But this thing gonna go. Right there. That line, they don't want it to get past that line right there. Once it get past that line, baby, a whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. That's why I say right now, grab all your money and buy it right there, baby. You're going to be in the game right there with me. All of y'all, man. Thank me later. Thank me later. I'm like a shooting star. They don't want this shit to go up. I got it on the other shit, but I can't show y'all that shit. That's classified. I got a whole nother program. On a magic carpet ride. fucking with that crypto, or do you fuck with the crypto? You fuck with that crypto, Roni? The one that got away from me was that, what is it? I can't even see that shit. Right here, SRP. I called this shit. I created XRP. Money Buddha, I created that shit. Look what, come on, bro. I app down here. From its inception. Come on, right here. Down here, boy. Look what would happen.
Now, a bumpy road ahead, but in the future, analysts overall seem pretty bullish, which is an interesting take considering how many problems this company has faced recently.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Allie. Appreciate it.
Well, a months-long battle between AMC and retail investors over a stock conversion plan will come to a head today in court. Retail investors accusing the movie theater chain of rigging a shareholder vote to convert preferred stock to common stock, issuing hundreds of millions of new shares. This is a 2-day court case, so we should get some kind of resolution to it tomorrow. But at issue here is this plan between the AMC shares and the APE shares and the conversion of one to the other. And again, these investors in the company are alleging that the shareholder vote was somehow rigged to approve this getting done in the first place. You see there the APE shares trading a little bit higher in today's session.
Yeah, and this was about, for AMC at least, being able to begin paying down some of its debt. Even as AMC had kind of used this, or at least marketed this as a mechanism to get closer to its retail traders, it seems that there was something else clearly at play here. There could be a class action settlement. There's going to be a chancery court that evaluates that potential as well.
Yeah, and those who are suing here, a Pennsylvania pension fund and an individual shareholder. And what they're alleging is that AMC won the vote through what this lawsuit says are heavy-handed tactics and financial trickery, they say. So we'll see what ends up happening with this situation.
Everyone, we're going to continue to monitor that, plus all of the other tickers that we've been bringing your way this morning, and a few more that we have yet to discuss. Stay tuned. You're watching Yahoo Finance.
What does GDT Bath stand for, Callie?
Oh, this is my favorite. Good day to be a Tar Heel. I'm a huge UNC fan.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Hi, do you like bacon? Well, you'll love bacon soap. Congrats, you're pre-approved for every credit card.
Okay, wow.
Here's a box.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Give unwanted emails the finger with one-tap unsubscribe from Yahoo Mail.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna forget to cancel those free trials this time, right? Uh-oh. Free trial alerts to the rescue, so you cancel on time from Yahoo Mail.
I like the sound of the cash machine purring like a kitty to ATM.
Easy returns, no regrets, with easy-to-find receipts from Yahoo Mail.
If we find your info on the dark web, we'll provide simple steps to take action from your phone or laptop. Check your protection score from any device and improve your online safety in seconds. Online protection made easy. Need to connect to Wi-Fi at the airport or your favorite coffee shop? McAfee automatically turns on VPN for seamless protection that goes where you go. Online protection made easy.
Is one trip, yeah, there and back, even if they have connections. So busy. And the other category is just 300,000 from setting a record from 2019. So those are trains, buses, and cruise ships. And cruising is very busy. So
niggas on the internet with a half a milski. Damn, Money Buddha. You the hottest nigga. You really that nigga, Money Buddha. You really that nigga. It say y'all only ended up with 40,000, 400,000. You gonna end up with 400,000. told you. Ben told you that though. That should nothing should be new to you, because you were lucky enough to have a seer like mine. See, I'm a seer. See, I'm a seer. I can see things here. You know what I mean? You lucky to have a seer. I told you every fucking thing. I told you. About to go down, and they say y'all short. How we do this? Y'all got a little more than what I thought, though. They trying to be nice. That's because y'all was so mean to y'all kids. Y'all ain't getting them to your kids. That's why y'all numbers so high. Because other than that, the numbers should be lower than that. Or y'all didn't have kids. A lot of people didn't end up. Told you it's 2-3 waves now. Keep telling y'all. That man with that dog, he ain't got no kids, and he ain't my age. Nigga be in there with them dogs. Why he snorting coke? He knocked on my window asking for coke. Yeah. I don't know how I used to look back in the day. Niggas always asked me for shit. Okay, see? There it is. They lying. They lied. I knew them numbers was too high. I'm a mathematician. They say something to mean, and something they say. And the real number is 160,086,000. That's what y'all have in y'all retirement account. You heard me? $86,000 for retirement. 160,000. I know fucking half a Milski. Nowhere near our Milski. You only in the first percent of a Milski. If that. Most of y'all niggas ain't even hit the 100,000 ski. Come on now. I knew y'all wasn't eating like that. Come on now. You see that shit, Roni? You see that shit, Roni? You see that shit, Rodine? They said 164,000. 83,000 saved for retirement. These numbers are from 2019. And that was when we were prime. That was the prime. That was the best time. So that shit lower than that. Niggas ain't got no money. Worried about these hoes, but you ain't got no money. NyQuil, wait. NyQuil. Big trouble, baby. Diamonds in my motherfucking hey. Just the devil and that be so nasty. All about that paper, can't miss a beat. Hey, I'm making some cho-cho. One thing about me. My word on that fun shit makes me with that. Hey. I can mix your front line. This bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. The one I had to chase it down. I'm about no stats. I'm gonna blow your back. Blow your back. I'm gonna blow your back. Hey. Trying to bounce once you body. Body. Shouty body. That was in the days I used to fuck with Uncle Charlie and them. I got the gas now. Sorry, Uncle Charlie and them. I just want to take a moment. Let me see. Boom. I just want to take a moment. This fucking soap. This soap right here. This motherfucking soap. You can't see me, can ya? I ain't gonna see me. This fucking soap right here. This shit is, man. This shit is so tender, boy. When you tender. I'm telling you, this soap right here. This shit right here. I find a name for it. When I find a name for it, you shall know. How y'all liking Bunny Booty Show? You see we getting global now. We got chat rolling through. Y'all need to say something now. But shout out to Ronin. Ronin gonna be the Ronin. It's one of my other guys. He gonna come here too. And y'all gonna end up, boy. Man, the chat building, man. Make sure y'all say get this money with him. Then y'all gonna get rich. Like what's that? The top G. The top G says. Andrew Tate. He said, I need y'all to not be brokies. Can't have you being brokies.
smoke, bang. We're seeing it there. It's actually, for us as a small business in respect to the larger companies, the Raytheons and the General Dynamics, the AI is really, really coming down hard on our requirements for compliance. So we're seeing that in a big way as far as affecting our cost structure.
Interesting. And just in terms of your cost structure, what about labor? Anything else contributing to increases there?
Yes, to where our CapEx is up about 60% now because we're investing in automation. It's very difficult to get those individuals that want to work in a factory environment down here. Our pyrotechnicians that go out in the field to display, we don't really have many problems with that because it's more of a part-time task, part-time job. But we have 160 to 170 employees in our factory down here in Virginia, and that's the difficulty that we're having is those individuals that want to come to a factory environment and work. So it's requiring us to shift our resources towards automation.
Automation spares no one, and I look forward to perhaps seeing some of your fireworks from a distance this weekend. Thank you, Phil Grucci, CEO and Creative Director of Fireworks by Grucci.
A story I'm watching, a different story, but a fun one we've been following, is these Bud Light sales, and it's been interesting to see what's happening with it. But more importantly, as we head to the 4th of July, you might be able to get free Bud Light, more or less. So they're running a promotion that if you buy a $15 rack of Bud Light, you can see right there, you get a $15 rebate back. Now you have to go online to file the rebate. So of course, don't forget to do that.
That's the worst. That's the worst. When you have to go online to file that, it just doesn't happen, at least for me.
Interesting, as we've been tracking, of course, Bud Light sales down about 30% over the past week compared to last year. They've been in that 25 to 30% range for a while now. Trying to reinvigorate maybe sales growth with this deal. I don't know, are you guys buying it?
I don't think it's going to harm the company at all. Obviously, I think they're also banking on a lot of people, like Ali, what you were just alluding to there, not submitting their rebates, so they're going to get the full what they charge here for their Bud Lights, especially right now, because it is so critical for the company because sales have dropped so significantly. But they need to do something to turn things around, right? So this new marketing campaign that they are launching for the next several weeks, I think is a smart move. I think a lot of people that maybe boycotted Bud Light for just because it was a trending thing, it was a trending topic, I think some of those people are going to come back to Bud Light, but that's only part of the problem, right? Because then you also have the fact that beer sales across the board are slowing down, and Evercore was out with an interesting note on that, just saying that it is tough right now when you stack that up to some of those ready-to-drink alternatives out there that are very popular, especially with the younger generation.
It was interesting to look there, so when you expand beyond Bud Light and you think about AB InBev, right, and their overall seltzer sales, decline year over year from 2020 to 2021 to 2022 to this year. And right there you can see it compared to High Noon, which I would argue is one of the more popular ready-to-drink cocktails right now.
Well, that leads the category for sure.
And so like you could see High Noon sort of ticking up there, Ali. I don't know. That was something that stuck out to me when you think about beyond beer, what AB InBev can do to maybe help itself out here.
And in this note, one thing that did stick out to me as well is the fact that hard seltzer just continuing that fizzle and is truly having a problem, no pun intended. I mean, that's down 15 basis points sequentially, 555 basis points year over year. It's the worst in the seltzer category, worse than Bud Light seltzer, which I think you know is bad because I'm going out, I'm never reaching for a Bud Light seltzer. I would get truly
Bud Light seltzer is easily the worst seltzer.
But I wonder why. I mean,
the worst tasting seltzer.
You guys are younger than me. You're a lot cooler than me. Why hasn't, do you think, seltzer caught on? And why was it just a fad? Because there was so much excitement about it.
When's the last time you had one?
I mean, like not that long
the
ago,
malt,
to be
the
honest.
malt liquor flavor in some of these seltzers are just not good.
I think that's what it was. And then you had High Noon come in, and it wasn't this malt liquor. It was the same calorie benefits, right? It was a healthy alternative. And I think, at least for my friends, they gravitated towards High Noon over the White Claw, even though White Claw is still doing not too bad. I think they're only down 80 basis points year over year, but they're up sequentially. So still, though, a decline in the segment overall.
People wanted something that wasn't beer, right? I think that was obvious. But then when you get into the next level of it, people like the flavor of something that's a vodka soda and maybe not as over fruit forward. I think some of the ready to drink, like a White Claw or Truly, are very fruit forward if you have some of those and like a little sugary.
Yeah.
But what are you guys drinking 4th of July? Quick, what do we got?
I
out of this category. I would pick a High Noon.
I would honestly take any sort of drink right now, so I'm not going to discriminate.
I'm going with that Bud Light deal too. That's not bad.
I
like
always love a Corona, and I love a High Noon, and I love a good vodka soda. So.
Exactly, everything. Guys, let's talk about another big name that I think we've all talked about in the past, and that's Allbirds. Lots of questions about what this company is going to do to move forward, to really change its strategy, get more people on board in terms of what they're thinking. They just came out with a brand new shoe design. I think we have a picture of it right now. I am not on board with this. So what this is, it's the first ever carbon neutral shoe. I believe it's called Moonshot here. They use regenerative wool. Whether or not this is really going to stage a comeback here for the company.
It looks like a sock.
I'm not sold.
It looks like a sock.
Let's just be honest.
Maybe that's cool. I'm not cool. I don't know what's cool.
It looks like a sock. I'm not cool either. But neither of those.
I'm cool, and I think, I don't know.
Oh, you wear Hoka's, so do I. I don't know.
Does that mean we're not cool?
Hoka, a company that's innovated well, right? When they needed to make more than one product.
I like
Isn't
to think
that
I'm
the
cool.
thing with Allbirds? Like, they made the one shoe, that tech bro style shoe that everyone was wearing with their button down in like 2018, 2019, pre-pandemic, right? They sort of got that early athleisure shoe brand in. And now they haven't made another shoe since. I think it's the Tree Runner, right? It's that common one. It's got the gum bottom, the mesh shoe.
I have,
yeah, no, a lot of people have those. They haven't sold another popular shoe. That's literally just been it. And when they've gone to innovate, they've made things like this sock. I mean, I'm sorry, no one's wearing that.
Well, and to your point, yes, they came out with the athleisure shoe, but I think a lot of shoe manufacturers have a similar type of shoe, right? The comfy, lightweight, simple shoe. Hey Dudes is one that comes to mind. I can throw that in the wash, same as my Allbirds, which to me is important in a shoe, and know some of my friends it's important in a shoe. So I just feel like it's a trend that has sort of faded. Others have at least have gotten on board, which takes away a little bit of that exclusivity for Allbirds. And yeah, they just haven't been able to come out with something else that makes it different.
It gets to understanding who you are as a business, right? And so like investors can maybe start to understand that too with like who you provide shoes for. Because they had these cool shoes that I don't know if they were meant for people to wear to the office, but people were wearing them in the office, right? Or wearing them a little bit more dressed up than like running shoes. And now you have these that are just not the same target market at all. So like, what's the point? Like, who are you serving as a footwear company with your stock at $1.20?
Oh gosh, so bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say identifying who the audience is, obviously, that's very, very important here for companies that want to be successful, but also just better advertising what you even wear a style like that with. That is what I am trying to figure out right now. In terms of if I
bro,
were to
not
get it,
finance bro.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it Brooklyn Bro?
I don't know.
So you're saying those are like a Birkenstock Boston kind of look?
Yeah, I can see someone in a beanie
okay.
and like a wide rim glasses wearing that in downtown Brooklyn.
I'd say it could be good for kids though. As a mom who struggles to get their shoes on their kids all the time, ties coming undone.
Actually.
It's easy. Just slip it over their feet.
I think those would be harder to put on than you think.
Stretch it out a few times.
I trust
the
them
a little bit easier after time. Never know.
Right.
Maybe that could be next.
Well, it's closing time here at Yahoo Finance, and here's a look at some of the top stories of the day. Chip stocks under pressure today on a report the U.S. may be considering export restrictions on AI chips to China. The Wall Street Journal first reporting the announcement could come next month as concerns rise about American technology being in the hands of rivals. This action would follow rules the Biden administration implemented back in October to attempt to freeze China's semiconductor industry.
Meantime, President Biden making his economic pitch to Americans. Biden speaking in Chicago earlier today, trying to turn Americans' views around as he ramps up his re-election campaign. He touted the recovery from the pandemic, but also said there is work that remains to be done. He's not declaring victory on the economy.
Finally, Fed Chair Jerome Powell reiterating his hawkish stance on raising rates. At a European Central Bank conference, he said 2 consecutive rate hikes are on the table. He said, quote, although policy is restrictive, it may not be restrictive enough, and it has to be restrictive for long enough. He also warned that inflation will not come down to the Fed's 2% goal this year or next year. And let's get it over to Shauna Smith for some after-hours movers.
All right, Jared, let's take a look at some of these movers here. We have a couple of names for you. Starting it off with Micron. We're looking at a gain of just about 3.5% in extended trading. A move here to the upside following their better than expected results after the bell here this afternoon, beating for the third quarter. The guidance was also strong. The company saying, the CEO saying that the memory chip industry has passed its bottom in revenue. Obviously a good sign here from Micron and also the industry at large. The upbeat forecast is certainly a sign that the glut is easing, something that Micron and many of its peers has been struggling with in recent months. And the better than expected results and guidance coming despite some of those headwinds, challenges that the company is facing over in China. And we know China cracked down on Micron's chips. Micron is saying that it is a challenge here for the company moving forward, but they still see strong demand here in the U.S. and elsewhere. Shares up just about 13% over the last 3 months. Let's flip it over to the three banks that we're tracking here. Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs all moving to the upside in after-hours trading. These banks, plus all of its peers, all 23 of the largest U.S. lenders, passing the Fed's stress test. Now they can withstand, proving that they can withstand any sort of severe recession. This, of course, leading the way to future payout announcements. Those, though, might be a while. Several of these banks have indicated that they are waiting for more clarity on the new capital structures before they announce that. You're looking at Bank of America, that's like up almost 2%. Rounding it out with Overstock, that stock also to the upside here in extended trading. A couple of headlines coming out from the company Overstock saying that it plans to launch Bed Bath & Beyond online in Canada, followed by U.S. weeks later. The U.S. launch is going to include a refreshed website, mobile app, and also the loyalty program here. Now remember, Overstock was the winning bidder here for Bed Bath & Beyond's assets. They paid $21.5 million for that. And taking a look at the 7-day move here in the stock, you can see the big spike that we saw just around Thursday of last week once that was announced. Over the last 7 days, looking at gains of about 16%.
Yeah, Overstock. So many people have counted that stock out for so many different reasons over the years. Taxed by short sellers, still cooking there. Shares of Micron trading higher after reporting better than expected third quarter earnings. And let's get right into the results with Daniel Morgan, Synovus Trust Senior Portfolio Manager. Thanks for your time here today. Just your first impression off this report.
Well, Jared, obviously it was a good report in regards to revenues and earnings. Both of those came in better than expected. I think what everybody's kind of applauding, at least initially on the Micron report, is their projections for the upcoming third quarter. In terms of revenues, they were projecting $3.9 billion plus or minus $200 million. Also, some of the comments that came out in the press release from management basically saying that they felt that we had hit a trough and that revenues were going to hopefully start to improve along with margins going forward. So I think what everyone's kind of happy about, Jared, is that we're looking for a light at the end of the tunnel in regards to memory, because that sector has been hit particularly hard. And I think that this report gave us some evidence that things are starting to turn here in the second quarter and should start to improve going into the back half of this year.
Yes, and I actually have that quote from the CEO. We believe that the memory industry has passed its trough in revenue, and we expect margins to improve as industry supply-demand balance is gradually restored. Could you just talk about, in more perhaps general terms, the cyclicality of the chip industry? And also, we talk about chips and semiconductors, but they specialize, and Micron in particular is levered to the memory side of the equation. Could you just talk about how Micron fits within the industry?
Well, you're right, Jared. I mean, if we look at last year, overall revenues in the semiconductor industry were basically flat. This year, this is a projection from the Semiconductor Association, Industry Association. They're projecting revenues to be down about 11%. If we look at different sectors within the chip space, about a third of the market are chips that are made for PC, tablets, smartphones. The rest of it's kind of split up between servers and auto and some of these other segments. Now, everybody's gotten very excited about artificial intelligence after that NVIDIA report that came out last month. And now everyone keeps looking for more evidence that artificial intelligence is stimulating revenue growth in the chip space. But we have to bear in mind, Jared, that memory is a very commodity-based segment. Memory chips go into PC laptops, and then NAND chips will go into the smartphones. So it's not the same as, let's say, NVIDIA with their Hopper 100 or their Grace Hopper 200 artificial intelligence chips, which are highly specialized that can command very high prices on. The DRAM and NAND chips or memory chips that Micron produces are very commoditized.
Well, thank you for that. Also want to talk about the headwind from China. We've been talking about the latest push by the administration, what they're floating. And here's a quote. Here's another quote from the earnings report from Micron. The recent Cyberspace Administration of China, the CAC decision, is a significant headwind that is impacting our outlook and slowing our recovery. How much of this is a Micron story versus how it's affecting the entire industry?
Well, Jared, it is a big story for the entire industry, as we heard that this morning with the NVIDIA news, but just kind of putting the spotlight back on Micron. If we think about 11 to 12% of their total revenues come from China, about 50% of those revenues will be affected by this potential ban. So it is something that could potentially become a problem going forward. It just depends on whether they can make up sales with the China ban in other markets. Now, Micron in the DRAM and NAND space or memory space, it may be more challenging. Where with NVIDIA, because there is such a tremendous demand for their AI chips, they may be able to get over the hurdle of having, for example, the A100 or the 8800 chip potentially requiring licensing. That's what they were talking about today out of the Biden administration. They may make it up for sales in other parts of the world. So it's going to impact different companies differently. But there's no doubt that this is a bad precedent, right? We're getting into this back and forth restrictions between U.S. and China. It's not good for any of the U.S. Chip manufacturers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just getting back to their fourth quarter projections, I'm seeing adjusted gross margin. They expect it to be -8% to -13%. Estimate was for -2.79%, so expecting much more negative result in adjusted gross margin. Is this a concern for Micron?
You know, Jared, one of the big issues, even on this quarter, we were looking for about a $500 million write-off on inventory, and they took about a $400 million write-off. Now we go into the upcoming quarter, and we start to focus on margins. What that basically means is they're not getting as much for the memory chips that they're selling it in terms of their bottom line profit. So I think this is something to kind of take a look at. We know that top line revenue number was above expectations for the upcoming quarter. But obviously, this will hopefully get a better explanation in regards to margins, why they seem to be below the street on the upcoming third quarter. And as you mentioned earlier, Jared, in the beginning of our conversation, in the press release, they talked about margins should begin to improve. So need a little bit more color on why we're not seeing that versus expectations on this upcoming quarter.
We got under a minute. Anything we didn't touch on here that you'd like to share?
Well, again, each chip company is different. Micron is going to be a different play than an NVIDIA or some of these other companies that are going to more broadly be affected by AI. In the long term, we expect memory increases associated with AI, but it's harder to see it in the next quarter or two where we might get a bigger impact from some of the other companies that we've been talking about.
All right. Thank you for keeping that short, and we always appreciate your time. Daniel Morgan. All right, we got some breaking news here. The Federal Reserve out with its annual bank stress test, and in order to determine just how well large banks are positioned to weather a severe recession, here with the results is Yahoo Finance's Jennifer Schonberger. Jennifer, just reading some of the headlines, banks have passed the stress test here, clearing that first hurdle for payments.
Hey there, Jared. That's right. Results from the Federal Reserve stress tests show that 23 of the nation's largest banks could continue lending to households and businesses during the severe recession with plenty of capital on hand to absorb losses from loans. These tests, the first results since Silicon Valley Bank and other regional banks failed earlier this spring, just underscore the fortitude and resilience of the nation's largest banks since they were required to hold capital about a decade and a half ago. Recall the Fed's stress tests were mandated annually by law after the financial crisis for banks with more than $100 billion in total assets. They examine how banks would perform during a hypothetical recession to prevent bank failures in a crisis. This year, the hypothetical scenario, tougher than last year, envisions a severe global recession with acute stress in commercial real estate. Under the Fed scenario, unemployment spikes to 10%, both home prices and commercial real estate prices plunge about 40%, and the stock market plummets 45%. Under that scenario, all 23 banks in aggregate would lose $541 billion. Yet after covering losses, banks would still have capital left over equal to over 10% of total assets weighted by risk. That's well above the 4.5% the Fed requires. Now, the hardest hit area under the hypothetical scenario would be credit cards, with losses amounting to $120 billion, or about 22% of total loans lost. Commercial real estate, along with residential mortgages, coming in a close second, with losses totaling over $100 billion. Those losses on commercial real estate were roughly triple the levels seen during the 2008 financial crisis. Now, taking a look at how the nation's largest banks shake out here, you can see they are all well above the Fed's minimum capital requirements. The same goes for some of the mid-sized regional banks that were part of this test, including PNC, Truist, and M&T. Now, this year, the banks with assets of between $100 and $250 billion were not subject to the test. That went into effect a couple years back, a new law that stipulated that banks with assets of those size would undergo tests every other year. However, the Fed disclosed that a small handful of banks, BMO Financial, Citizens, M&T, and RBC, were actually subject to the test this year. They would have been subject next year. And the reason for that was they mandated a new capital requirement for those banks. Now, RBC elected to opt in this year themselves. They would have been subject next year. Banks are now going to take a look at these results and use them to determine what their capital plans will be. That is, will they change or increase their dividend and stock buyback plans? The results of those from the banks expected to come down Friday after the market close. Jared?
Thank you. And just looking at our Wi-Fi interactive heat map, it's impressive to see some of the gains on this. JP Morgan in the upper left up 0.75%, Bank America and Wells Fargo up about 1% and 0.5% respectively. Thank you for that, Jen Schonberger.
Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. I'm Alexandra Canal, joined by the one and only Shauna Smith, Josh Schaefer. We're talking a lot of top stories today, but I want to kick us off with Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, this is a stock I've been following closely. It's been dealing with a lot of challenges lately, especially after the CNN disaster with Chris Licht. You also had the flash bombing at the box office, a lot of media layoffs at this company in particular. But analysts that I've spoken with are very bullish on the stock moving forward. They think they've done a good job at cost cutting, and they say ultimately this is going to come down to the rollout of the new Max offering, which will reportedly include some live CNN content, which I think is a better strategy than what they had before with CNN Plus. So it's something that I think moving forward could have the potential. It just seems like there's a lot of turmoil surrounding this company right now.
Yeah, I wonder how big of a push or how big of a difference offering some of the live news content on Max, what that's really going to do here for subscriber numbers. Because, I mean, it's definitely a different approach than what we've seen from some of the competitors out there. When you take a look at Walt Disney, they have kept the news division separate than what they offer on streamers. Similar also to what we've seen in Paramount and Comcast. So I wonder if that's really going to move the needle here. It certainly is. I guess there's no harm in doing it as long as they're able to do it with the pay TV providers here, as long as that doesn't breach any sort of contract. But I don't know.
The paid TV subscriber thing is a big part of it, right? Those contracts, because that's why some of these companies haven't done that, right? Yeah. Because you don't really have some of your best content to put out there. You remember even with the Olympics, NBC had a problem with that. With some of their Olympics going back a couple years, they're trying to do Peacock. So if you don't have your prime CNN content that is really going to drive subscribers, I don't know, but maybe it does keep subscribers. I think having live content in general is very strong for a streamer because you get news access for when things are happening. I don't know, we work in news, so maybe I'm more biased on wanting to watch it. But
no, because I spoke with Bank of America analyst Jessica Reeve Ehrlich, and she did say that live news increases engagement on the platform, and she does think live sports are going to be a big thing for Warner Brothers Discovery as well.
Yeah, I wonder, Allie, just get your thoughts on that, just in terms of the contracts that they have with the pay TV providers. Are they able to, I guess, how big of a hurdle is that for the industry when they are trying to incorporate some more of their live content on their streaming?
It is going to be a hurdle, and that was one of the main issues we saw with CNN Plus and why they sort of pivoted and did some of these different types of shows, because they couldn't really have their bread and butter content on streaming. So you wonder if they'll renegotiate, or if instead of the traditional programming that we know from CNN, maybe they're going to take some other type of live component and put that on Max as well. So that remains to be seen.
Yeah, and I also just think there's a lot of questions just what it's even like inside those walls there, right? At CNN right now, Warner Brothers Discovery more broadly, given all the changes that the company has gone through, over the last 14, 15 months?
Yeah, but people love David Zaslav. They say he makes a mistake, he admits it, and he corrects it pretty quickly. That's his management style. He's very cutthroat, and I think a lot of investors and a lot of analysts are bullish on that.
Yeah, certainly. We will see if it pays off over the last year. We'll see, just over 8%.
I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Smoke with this dope nigga from right. Nigga man play better on the team. I got money man coming and shit, but on me. Nigga been dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga man even you know what I be. Nigga can't nigga smoking this shit. Nigga swing. Nigga man blowing that shit. Holly green. Nigga even that bang. Nigga you know what I mean. Nigga man fuck with that bitch. You know what that bitch. Nigga playing that shit what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch and I'm moving that dope and you know nigga shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see the women. I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though, niggas do the liquors though. Even though bring it nigga, when you didn't know, nigga, with it. Even money, gang, I'm in that bitch, I'm money coming. Dope is that I'm making some. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see that. Women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though. Niggas do the liquors though. Even though bring it nigga, when you didn't know. When you didn't know, nigga, when it even money. Gang, I'm in it, bitch, I'm money. Money coming, dope as that, I'm making something to them niggas frontin'. Money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga, fucking jumping. Pussy nigga, fucking flunking, nigga, how you working? Nigga, how you moving, nigga? Man, I'm moving true. Boy, y'all nigga moving, nigga, I thought you fucking knew. Whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe. Should've brought a coupe, I said I should've whipped it too. I should've bricked it through, I should've stayed in school. I should've whipped it through, I said I moved it to their coupe. I moved that shit too new, I said I do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do, I say, man, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do, I tell them. You moving them things that you wanted, you gotta go get it over. But you doing them things that they didn't wanna do, but you know that you got it over. Nigga, even that moving, I'm flipping over. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stove. Moving up, I try to get a fold. Nigga, breaking down a nigga, bag a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm rig and roll. Nigga, break them down with some rocky road. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking go. Tell a nigga, man, you could do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, I'm nigga, moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I be. Smoke with this dope nigga, moving right. Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, can't nigga smoking this shit, nigga sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, and you know what that bitch, nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know nigga shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see that. Women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though. Niggas do the liquors though. Even though bring it nigga, when you didn't know. When you didn't know, nigga, when it go tell a nigga, man, you can do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, nigga, moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I do. Smoke with this dope nigga, right? Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, can't nigga smoking this shit, nigga sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, and you know what that bitch, nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know nigga shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see it. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see the women, I've been fucking though, I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though, nigga, do the liquors though, even though, bring it nigga, when you didn't know, nigga, when it, even money, gang, I'm in that bitch, I'm money coming, dope as that, I'm making something to them niggas frontin', money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga, fucking jumping, pussy nigga, fucking flunking, nigga, how you working, nigga, how you moving, nigga, man, I'm moving true, boy, y'all nigga moving, nigga, I thought you fucking knew, whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe, I said I should've whipped it too, I should've bricked it through, I should've stayed in school, I should've whipped it through, I said I moved it too damn cool, I moved that shit too move, I said I do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I say, man, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them. You moving, them things that you wanted, you gotta go get it on. But you doing them things that they didn't wanna do, but you know that you got it on. Nigga, even that moving, I'm flipping old. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you're too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stone. Moving up, I try to get a fold. Nigga, breaking down a nigga, bag a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm ripping roll. Nigga, break him down with some rocky road. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking gold. Tell a nigga, man, you can do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, nigga, moving with two. I'm banging shit up see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see her. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see her. Women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, old nigga, old women, old niggas do the liquor store. Even though bring it old nigga, when you didn't know, when you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang I'm in it, bitch, I'm money, money coming, dope is that I'm making something to them niggas frontin', money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga fucking jumping, pussy nigga fucking flunking, nigga how you working, nigga how you moving, nigga, man I'm moving true, boy y'all nigga moving, nigga I thought you fucking knew, whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe, should've brought a coupe, I said I should've whipped it too, I should've bricked it through, I should've stayed in school, I should've whipped it through, I said I moved it to that coupe, I moved that shit too, I said I do man what I do, just don't do what I do, I say man do man what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them do man what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them do man what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them. You moving them things you wanted, you gotta go get it on. But you doing them things that they didn't wanna do, but you know that you got it on. Nigga, even that moving, I'm flipping over. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stone. Moving up, I try to get a roll. Nigga, breaking down a nigga, bag a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm rigging roll. Nigga, break them down with some rocky road. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking go. Tell a nigga, man, you could do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, I'm nigga, moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I be. Smoke with this dope nigga, right? Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, gang, nigga, smoking that shit, nigga, sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, you know what that bitch. Nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know, nigga, shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see her. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see her. Women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, old nigga, old women, old niggas do the liquor store. Even though bring it old nigga, when you didn't know, when you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang I'm in it, bitch, I'm money, money coming, dope is that I'm making something When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see that women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though, nigga, do the liquor though, even though bring it nigga, when you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang, I'm in that bitch, I'm money coming, dope is that I'm making something to them niggas frontin', money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga, fucking jumping, pussy nigga, fucking flunking, nigga, how you working, nigga, how you moving, nigga, man, I'm moving true, boy, y'all nigga moving, nigga, I thought you fucking knew, whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe, I said I should've whipped it too, I should've bricked it through, I should've stayed asleep, I should've whipped it through, I said I moved it to their coupe, I moved that shit to move, I said I do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I say, man, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them, do, man, what I do, just don't do what I do, I tell them. You moving them things that you wanted, you gotta go get it on. But you doing them things that they didn't wanna do, but you know that you got it on. Nigga, even that moving, I'm flipping old. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stove. Moving up, I try to get a fold. Nigga, break it down and nigga bag a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm rip and roll. Nigga, break them down with some rocky road. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking gold. Tell a nigga, man, you could do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, I'm nigga, moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I be. Smoke with this dope, nigga, moving right. Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, can't nigga smoking this shit, nigga, sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, and you know what that bitch, nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know, nigga, shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see that. Women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, whipping though, nigga, do the liquor though, even though bring it nigga, when you didn't know, nigga, when I say, man, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them. You moving. Them things that you wanted, you gotta go get it over. But you doing them things that they didn't want to do, but you know that you got it over. Nigga, even that moving, I'm ripping over. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stove. Moving up, I try to get a fold. Nigga, breaking down a nigga, bag a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm rig and roll. Nigga, break them down with some rocky road. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking gold. Tell a nigga, man, you could do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, I'm nigga, I'm moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I be. Smoke with this dope nigga, boom, right? Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, can't nigga smoking that shit, nigga sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, and you know what that bitch, nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know nigga shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the just tell them when you see it. Shit, just tell them when you see that women, I been fucking though. I tell them kid, nigga, boy, whipping though, nigga, do the liquors though. Even though, bring it nigga, when you didn't know, nigga, when it Just tell them when you see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see it. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see the women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, old nigga, bold whipping though niggas do the liquor store. Even though bring it old nigga when you didn't know. When you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang I'm in it, bitch, I'm money, money coming, dope is that I'm making something to them niggas front, money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga fucking jumping, pussy nigga fucking flunking, nigga how you working, nigga how you moving, nigga, man I'm moving true, boy y'all nigga moving, nigga I thought you fucking knew, whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe. Should've brought a coupe, I said I should've whipped it too. I should've bricked it through, I should've stayed in school. I should've whipped it through, I said I moved it too damn cool. I moved that shit too. I said I do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I say, man, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them, do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I tell them. You moving them things that you wanted, you gotta go get it on. But you doing them things that they didn't wanna do, but you know that you got it on. Nigga, even that moving, I'm flipping old. When you see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. Nigga, see a nigga, man, I'm too damn old. See a nigga, man, I'm too damn swole. Nigga, see a nigga, man, you too damn old. Nigga, even nigga moving old. Nigga, pull up nigga to the nigga stone. Moving up, I try to get a roll. Nigga, breaking down a nigga, back a hole. Nigga, even nigga, man, I'm ripping roll. Nigga, break them down with some rocky roll. Nigga, money coming, nigga, fucking go. Tell a nigga, man, you can do like me. Nigga, just don't do what I do. Nigga, man, how you doing this shit? Bitch, nigga, know I do what I do. Money coming, nigga, fucking them moves. I'm moving dope, I'm nigga moving with two. I'm banging shit up like I'm fucking with cool. I'm fucking bitches, know you know what I do. Sure, just do what I do. But don't do what I do. Just do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Say do what I do, just don't do what I do. Do what I do, just don't do what I do. Smoke with this dope nigga, moving right. Nigga, man, play better, it's on the team. I got money, man, coming and shit, but on me. Nigga, man, dope and that shit all on me. Niggas coming and ganging and shit, it on me. Nigga, man, even you know what I be. Nigga, gang, nigga, smoking this shit, nigga, sweet. Nigga, man, blowing that shit, Holly Green. Nigga, even that bang, nigga, you know what I mean. Nigga, man, fuck with that bitch, you know what that bitch. Nigga, playing that shit, what I mean. Niggas is even that bitch, and I'm moving that dope, and you know, nigga, shit fucking clean. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see it. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see the women know I've been fucking though. I tell them kid, old nigga, bold whipping though niggas do the liquor store. Even though bring it old nigga when you didn't know. When you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang I'm in it, bitch, I'm money, money coming, dope is that I'm making some
quality is fine. So then we get to what makes these different from
Yeah. When I whip it, just tell them when you see the hoe. Yeah. Just tell them when you see it. Yeah. Shit, just tell them when you see the women. I've been fucking though. I tell a kid, nigga, whipping though, niggas do the liquors though. Even though bringing nigga when you didn't know. When you didn't know, nigga, when it even money, gang, I'm in it, bitch, I'm money, money coming, dope as that, I'm making something to them niggas front, money come, I'm fucking dunking, nigga, fucking jumping, pussy nigga, fucking flunking, nigga, how you working, nigga, how you moving, nigga, man, I'm moving true, boy, y'all nigga moving, nigga, I thought you fucking knew, whipping up that bitch, I said I should've brought a coupe. Should've brought a coupe. I said I should've whipped it too. I should've bricked it through. I should've stayed in school. I should've whipped it through. I said I moved it to their coupe. I moved that shit to move. I said I do, man, what I do. Just don't do what I do. I say, man, do, man, what I do. Just don't
U.S. is considering new restrictions on AI chip shipments to China, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. This as concerns mount over the possible threat of an advanced AI in the hands of U.S. rivals. Shipments to China from chip makers like NVIDIA could be blocked by the Commerce Department as early as next month. Chip maker shares followed pre-market on the report.
I think this is where the rubber meets the road, and I think AI is a great story. I think it's hard to argue against the fact that it could change the world. But these bumps happen when we're talking about new technologies, and this is a very new trend. So I would tell investors that, this is kind of part of the process. This is the world figuring out where AI fits, and there are going to be ups and downs.
This group has had an unbelievable run, and whether it be the AI stocks in general or the chip stocks in particular as well. So it'll be interesting, not only this week, but as we move into next week, a lot of these institutions, they might start to pull back a little bit because of this concern.
Because there's concern about whether the Biden administration is going to put any restrictions on the ability of these companies to export their goods, then those valuation levels could come in. There's plenty of profits to take off the table. Might an air pocket be coming if that's the direction the Biden administration wants to go? Certainly that's something you can't rule out.
I spoke to one strategist over at Baird, Ted Mortensen, who basically said that this is turning out to look like into almost a geopolitical economic warfare issue. When you are restricting the exportation of these chips, you are basically trying to restrict economic growth in one country, and you're also trying to restrict their military advancements. This is going to be sort of a red line when it comes to China in trying to restrict this.
Nike set to report fourth quarter earnings tomorrow, wrapping up its financial year on what is expected to be a high. Despite concerns of consumer spending slowing down, the brand outperformed estimates in February with 14% sales growth. Our next guest expects a similar outcome tomorrow and says the stock is undervalued. David Schwartz is a senior equity analyst at Morningstar. David, thank you for joining us here. So, broadly speaking, what are you expecting?
I think we're looking for relatively moderate growth of about 3%. I'm at 2.9% sales growth for the quarter. My EPS estimate is 69 cents. In recent weeks, we've seen some analysts reduce their estimates a little bit. I have not done so. I think that Nike can make that number. Nike has a history of meeting or exceeding analyst expectations. Although there are some headwinds, certainly. We are looking at a slowing consumer right now, slowing spending on apparel in both the United States and Europe as well. But, that is also counterbalanced by the increase in sales in China that are likely due to the lifting of the COVID restrictions at the beginning of the year.
David, when it comes to the sales out of China, do you think it's going to be strong enough to offset some of the headwinds that you just mentioned that's happening right now in North America?
Yeah, I do. The expectations are not very high. 3% sales growth for Nike is pretty moderate by historical standards, and that's with the benefit of China. So I don't think expectations are really that sky high for the quarter, and I think in recent weeks, people have become even more pessimistic. So I think actually the upside potential is there because Nike does have a history of outperforming.
One more question on China. We've seen this escalation of, I'm not going to call it a trade war, but maybe tit for tat in terms of U.S. export restrictions on chips. And this kind of harkens back to the trade war, the actual trade war, the seeming nature of it we had with the previous administration, where China would in fact kind of retaliate on an item-by-item basis with every new announcement with the U.S. What is the danger that we re-enter that kind of environment and China decides wholesale that it's going to start blocking U.S. companies like Nike, or not hurting them, but I guess not enabling them to do business as they were in the past?
It definitely is a risk. Nike has lost some market share to native Chinese brands in the last few years, especially Anta and Li Ning. However, their products are still priced well below those of Nike in general, and Nike still is the #1 leader in market share. Nike has lost share because of trade restrictions, but also the controversy over forced labor in Western China that has affected Nike and as well as some other international brands. But Nike has really bounced back, I think, from that pretty well. Nike has something like 8,000 stores in China. Most of them are franchised, and I don't see the Chinese government or anybody else really preventing Nike from continuing to be the #1 sportswear brand in that market. Nike still has a very strong grip on worldwide sports, and that's not going to change.
David, there's lots of questions just about the extent of the pressure that we could see on Nike's wholesale business. We know that has been an aggressive focal point here for Nike recently. And then inventory levels. You mentioned the fact that some analysts have lowered their estimates going into these results. A lot of the talk has been on inventory levels, and maybe Nike doesn't have as great of a grip on inventory as they seem to have after the most recent quarter. What do you think?
Nike's inventories last year were definitely out of control. In the second half of calendar 2022, there was a big increase. Nike at one time was basically getting shipments for about 3 seasons at the same time. So that there were some problems, and those have not been completely resolved. I do think that the situation is getting better, and that's what we're hearing from retailers. We've had mixed reports from some retailers that do a lot of business with Nike, like Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker. Dick's, I think, is doing pretty well. Foot Locker had a pretty negative report. And, you know, for the most part, I think that the market is not in great shape, but it's in better shape than it was 6 or 9 months ago. I think Nike is in the same situation where it is in better shape, but its inventories are not really where they should be.
Are there any lingering concerns over supply chain constraints, labor shortages, any of the things that we're hearing about in 2021, 2022? Are those carrying over? Is Nike still feeling the effects of that, or has it largely moved on?
Those impacts, I think, are largely in the rearview mirror. There has been some slowing in consumer spending in the last few months, I think, which probably has impacted Nike. But I don't think that the shipping problems really are an issue anymore. Certainly, input costs are lower, cotton prices are lower, oil prices are lower, and that's a benefit for Nike and other apparel firms.
What are some of the deals, especially with sports endorsements, that Nike's really hanging its hat on, kind of been a hallmark of their advertising campaigns in the past? How is this fitting into their current business model?
Nike still dominates in endorsements. They still have many of the top athletes. Obviously, Nike has a big relationship with LeBron James and, of course, Michael Jordan, as well as a lot of top athletes in international football and track and field. Nike will still get most of the top athletes that are out there because Nike is the biggest. They can always outbid others when a great athlete comes out and their endorsement deals are in play. Nike usually does get those, and I don't see that changing at all.
All right, well, we will get Nike results after the bell tomorrow. We'll have it for you live here on Yahoo Finance. David Swartz from Morningstar, thanks.
Micron earnings.
Yeah, Jared, I'm digging into these results right now. Looks better than expected, at least for the most recent quarter, a narrower than expected adjusted loss of $1.43. The street was looking for a loss of $1.59. Revenue coming in at $3.75 billion. That was better than what the street was looking for. You're looking at gains of just about 4% here in extended trading. In terms of what the company is seeing going forward for the fourth quarter, they see fourth quarter adjusted revenue of $3.7 billion and $4.1 billion. Estimate was for $3.87 billion. So the higher end there of the outlook that the street was looking for in terms of what they're forecasting. Slightly wider than expected loss, though, for the fourth quarter. But I think a lot of the emphasis on this after hours reaction is on the beats here on both the top and bottom line. Better than what the street was bracing for, a stronger forecast in revenue. A sign that maybe the glut that we have seen within the chip industry right now could be easing just a bit. So move here to the upside, Jared.
Yes, Micron particularly levered to the memory chip market. And I'm looking at the Wi-Fi Interactive shares now up about 4%. I'm looking at a year-to-date chart. By the way, here is our extended hours quote right there. Year-to-date, though, up about 34%. That compares to NVIDIA, up almost 200%, but definitely not the high flyer some of these real AI stocks have been.
Yeah, certainly. And also Micron talking about the recent decision by China as, quote, a significant headwind. And just to remind everyone out there, China recently banning Micron chips and the key infrastructure over some national security risks. So Micron making some comments about that, the fact that that is a headwind here for the company going forward. And of course, I'm sure that will be a question or two on the earnings call this afternoon.
When I took office, the pandemic was raging and our economy was reeling. Supply chains are broken, millions of people unemployed, hundreds of thousands of small businesses on the verge of closing after so many had already closed. Literally hundreds of thousands on the verge of closing. Today, the U.S. has the highest economic growth rate, leading the world economies since the pandemic, the highest in the world.
That was President Biden making the case for how his policies have benefited the U.S. economy in what the White House now calls Bidenomics. You've heard that before. But with inflation still weighing on Americans' wallets, the White House is working to promote the broader economic message. Joining us now is Jared Bernstein, chair of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Jared, thank you for being here today. President Biden planning for the future. I would argue that it's more important what Americans think about the economy, at least when they're voting a year from now, 15 months from now. What is President Biden doing now to ensure the success of the U.S. economy, especially over this next year to two?
Well, as you heard in his speech today in Chicago, he's framing out this idea of Bidenomics, which is building the economy from the middle out and the bottom up. And he's making a stark contrast between that.
It's busy. 85% of those who are traveling, though, are driving to their destinations. Gives you the freedom to go when you want, make up your own schedule. You have transportation at your destination, so that's the overwhelming mode of choices.